2-1. We are live on Monday. We're live in Atlanta. We're live around the world, focusing on Atlanta. This YSL Young Thug trial is happening, and infamous Sylvia is back with us.
Hello, everybody.
Back in the chapel.
Yes, back in the chapel.
Where you can be heard. Thursday, you were not in the chapel, and it was a whole disaster. But we're back here.
Yes.
Okay. And Friday, there was no trial. So you didn't miss anything on Friday. There was no trial on Friday. So we're picking up where we left off on Thursday. Just to give people a really quick recap of the week. Last week was eventful. Was the set off of the entire situation. As you all know, you guys should be following this, but we'll bring you up to date a tiny bit. So Young Thug and his crew, of course, were swept up back last year, I think May 2022. And now we're finally, after months of jury selection and motions and pretrial hearings, we are finally at the trial. Last week on Monday was the 27th, the official starting of the trial opening statements. We heard from the state prosecution. One of the big pieces from her was that stood out was she made a reference to the jungle and to Young Thug and the crew being wolves. Another piece that stood out last week, of course, was the defense, the 6 young men who, including Thug, who are part of the defense. Their defense attorneys got a chance to really humanize them, right? Give them some context for where they came from, their upbringing, how they lived. And also you said Thug Brian Steele, his attorney, actually looked to separate him from the other defendants and basically say, I don't know these guys. So that was a big piece last week too. We also just let's see, during we had some testimonies from some witnesses. So we had the gang expert, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the guy that's a part-time bouncer, but he's also a police expert, gang expert. And he gave some perspective on what the gang symbols are and what gang language and lingo and all that other stuff is. And then there was another witness, the madam from the strip club. I didn't really get this sense of what she was trying to witness to. Her situation was about somebody that wasn't even on trial, right? What was
but it was when they carjacked her or something like that. So like I was saying last week, I did not sit for that one too long. I was moving all over the place, so I really didn't hear her total testimony.
Right. So she was testifying, but I think that she was bringing another, like this whole idea of this gentleman. There's another person, and this is, I guess, today as well, that was involved, that they're kind of interweaving into the case right now. That's actually not a part of the that's not being prosecuted here. What is Tron or something like that?
Yeah, he is part of the next set of individuals who will be going to trial, but he was severed from this particular trial right now.
Oh, okay, but he is still. Is it still a RICO indictment?
Yes, it's still RICO. Yes,
with YSL.
Yes.
Oh, and
they're doing another set of individuals for the trial. Another set, I think, is slated to start next year sometime, but they haven't given a date.
Wow, I don't think I was aware of that. So there's another set of individuals. So this is just the first set of 6, and then
it was. There was a few individuals who were severed. Like 2 of them, their attorney was going on maternity leave. They couldn't hold off. Then one is the one with where the attorney was found with his own prescription medicine. Then there's another one who I don't remember the circumstance, but he was taken off. So there's about 8 of them that was taken off, and that they're still going to have trial, but at a different time.
Got it. Okay. Because, with so many, I appreciate you breaking that down with so many different complex parts of this. It's hard for everybody to follow who's on and who's out and who's in and who's, pleaded out, etc. So
Mhm.
because they were severed, it does not mean that they're not going to be tried. They're just going to be tried at a later date.
Yes.
Okay. So this gentleman, Trontavious, is one of them. And is it Trontavious that was supposed to allegedly be involved with carjacking this madam from last week?
Trantavious Stevens is his name. Yes.
Okay. That's why they brought her in. All right. So those were the witnesses from last week. Anybody we're missing out any other insights or thoughts that you want to bring forth from last week that we before we get into this week?
None that I could remember. None
Okay.
that, I'm not good with the memory now.
and you don't have your notes on you, but we're going to go over as much because we've been covering this, of course, on the sites. We have the entire week one. If you have missed it, you can go to SOHH. We have a whole lineup of every day, SOHH.com on the site. And of course, we've got clips on YouTube if you want to catch up with it. We did a recap video of the entire week as well. We'll put that and make that available in the show notes afterwards. But if you are looking to catch up, you can get the information there. So one other thing, we got a lot of support. Thug's parents, Thug's family, Mariah the scientist, his girlfriend have been present in the courtroom every day.
Yes.
Right.
She's been there. She's been there in support. She's been there from the beginning.
Right.
I met her when they first started.
Right. And we have been really fascinated with her fashion. She's bringing a little levity to the trial because this is serious stuff. So when we get a chance to look at some different things, it's cool. So you actually had a picture of her boot from last week. Now you described it. You sent us a photo, but the photo we couldn't tell what brand it was. So we're gonna hope to get more photos of some shoes.
I sent it to someone who's supposed to be a guru of fashion, and and she told me, and I'm going to tell you what the shoe is called.
Okay.
She said it's the first three images. She says it's TT Creator. Is Genevieve? What is it? Genevieve Shock Lock Boots.
Okay, you got it. We're gonna pull up the boots for later on because you didn't send me the picture you sent me wasn't that great. So we were trying to see the side. We couldn't figure out what the picture was, but it has like a peak toe, right? And it's like a really interesting heel.
It's Givenchy Shock Lock Boots. Givenchy Shock Lock Boots. That's what it's called.
Okay, it's Givenchy and then Shock Light. Okay.
Shock. Like shocked out, or the animal in the water.
Yeah, Shark Light. Okay.
Yeah, lock, LOCK.
Oh, okay, lock boots. Okay, so she's been wearing that, and we're gonna have a picture of that later. So we'll put all that together so you guys can see that boot, get a little better picture of what the fashion is. And we're hoping that we can, see a little bit. They were also twinning last week. Thug and Mariah both were wearing slime green in honor of Slime Green Day, which we said Wednesday was Slime Green Day last week. So, yeah.
And then the next day they had on black and beige at the bottom.
See, like, come on now, you can still twin. Even if you're on trial, you can still twin with your boo. And I think that that's what we really want to take away here. You could still have those connections. Another part we forgot to bring up is that the Young Thug rebranded, or he unveiled the acronym for his name, which is Truly Humble Under God. That's what God stands for. So it is not, something else. Only people who thinking it's other stuff. It's not that. It is truly humble under God, and pushing P is pushing positivity. And we know they do a lot of positive things in the community. I mean, there was testimony originally in pretrial from a number of individuals who talk about how much they have contributed as a community. They have community events. There's a number of young men who, there was one young man in particular who testified that Young Thug had really made a difference in his life, and that he's an inspirational speaker now. He's going around the world. So look, we got to look at the full picture here. There's definitely something to be said about what they're doing in the community in a positive way. All right, so let's talk about today. Today you came in
Well, we started off. One of the jurors was hospitalized over the weekend, juror 269,
Mhm.
and that juror the judge made a decision to release that juror, excuse that juror from jury because of illness. So
Mhm.
that now we're down to 5 alternates and 12 jurors.
So, what's that juror's ethnic background, age, gender?
I couldn't tell you, but I'm assuming it's the African American woman. I'm assuming because I hadn't seen the jurors today come in because where I'm sitting, it's not visible for me with the
Okay.
jurors.
Okay. Okay. So they've got a replacement. And just to be clear, that juror had to be there sitting last week as an alternative anyway. Like, even though they weren't a part of the
We don't know. We don't know if she was an alternative because you
trial.
don't know who's who. So we know that that juror was. Well, in fact, that was juror number 12.
Okay.
When they announced it was juror number 12. So that was
Okay.
one of the main jurors. So one
Okay.
of the alternates has moved now to a juror.
Okay. So, but I'm saying, did she miss the action from last week, or was she in the court last
She
week?
was in the court.
Okay.
Everybody was in the court, all the jurors.
Okay, got it. So it's sort of like if you're doing like a play and they have the alternative person in case you get injured or something like that. They,
Yeah, like a backup.
yeah,
Hmm.
that person. Okay, all right. So she's there, and now she's part of the jury. And this was a big deal. I mean, you were there for a lot of this, Sylvia, when they were going through how many people. How many people did they see in order to build this jury?
It was almost 2000. It was almost 2000. It was like 18 plus
That's
jurors.
insane. That's insane.
Mhm.
It really took a lot for them to build this jury, and they've got a long way to go. So to be losing one in week one is not a good sign. I mean,
Yeah,
you got how many alternatives? Five in
5.
total?
Hmm.
Huh. If and people get the idea, they're like, wait a minute, let me get six so I can get out of this. So you know how folks do. They're like, I don't
Yes.
want to be here for 4 or 5 months. Okay, so we lost the juror. Okay. What else went down today?
Then we had 3 witness, the state's witness. Oh, I forgot to tell you. There was some confusion, not confusion, but more of the state still not providing the witness list untimely, and they switched from one. They added different people that were supposed to be part of the original. It's chaotic. So the judge was pretty upset, and judge basically said an unforeseen unforewarned seen something that it makes a judge an unhappy judge. So basically he's saying that because he has not been forewarned of the situation, he's not happy with what's going on with the state.
And I'm sure there was
So
plenty of objections coming from the defense.
definitely was quite a few objection, and mostly came from it's Mr. Steele, which is Jeffrey's attorney, and
Mhm.
also from Mr. Nichols' attorney, what's her name? Weatherford, I forgot her name.
Mhm.
I think it's hold on a sec, I'll tell you her name. Her name
While
is
you're looking, our producer
Westmoreland.
want to put some questions up. What's her name?
Westmoreland.
Westmoreland.
Yeah, that's Nichols' attorney. She
Okay.
works with Bruce Harvey.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we had the state once again, jumbling things around. And listen, I get it. I get it. The state is dealing with a whole lot. I mean, this is a massive trial. And like you said, the young ladies who are on the trial now, the state prosecutors came on towards the end, right? They weren't even there from the beginning. So they're picking up the pieces at the same time. They're trying to manage this massive trial of 6 defendants plus all of these different witnesses and all of this different paperwork and material. And, they're going to have over 200 witnesses. So it is a lot. So
Hmm.
we should be expecting lots of this as we move forward with. It's going to be constant changing and all that other stuff. But the judge wasn't happy. So what did we get to so far today? Any witnesses actually get to speak?
Yeah, 3 of them has spoken already,
Okay.
and it was very short testimony. It was more
Okay, we lost Sylvia. I think she probably tried to touch her phone. She'll probably be back in a moment. But what we've been doing is for the last 7 days and ongoing for we have, oh, she said, Sylvia said she's got 2 minutes. She's going to be jumping out in a few. So I don't even know if she's going to be able to come back. Oh, there she goes.
I'm sorry. I don't know what happened.
You said you got 2 minutes, but we'll wrap it up. So give us real quickly. We saw 3 witnesses today. What was the big takeaway?
The big takeaway is that the marijuana situation, one was arrested where it said that they had 16 ounce of marijuana and $19. So they received a felony because there were some scales involved in the baggie. So can you imagine being arrested for $19 as a drug dealer?
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing about it. I mean, we've seen that all over the country, the petty crimes, and they hem you up for that type of stuff. So they're saying that this is not the young man who had the marijuana during pretrial, right? This is some completely different.
This is the same, the Stevens guy, it's the same guy, but it was the amount of the marijuana was the thing that is less than, it's a felony, it's a misdemeanor, should be a misdemeanor charge, but they've charged him a felony because there was found a scale, there was baggies found, and then the $19.
And just to be clear, this is not the young man who allegedly had the marijuana in his shorts in pretrial, right?
No,
Remember that,
no.
isn't it? Okay. So this is a witness who is testifying to what? That they were there. What?
No, it's just an arrest. He was testifying for the arrest. It was a police officer testifying.
Oh, it's a police officer. Okay, police officer. Okay, who else did we see really quickly in the last 30 seconds?
It was all police officers today. And one tech. There was a tech, and the other was officers.
Okay, got it. All right. So listen, you got to get back in the courtroom. We are going to be following up, watching this live. We're going to have this trial live in a couple of days, directly to you from Infamous Sylvia at the courts. Keep watching live. Of course, Cash App Infamous Sylvia to support. And we'll be back this evening. Stand by, folks. Just if you like and subscribe and sign up for notifications, you will know when we go live. We are at the we're beholden to when the judge lets Sylvia out and everything like that. We're hoping to go live around 8 o'clock or so, but keep your notifications on and keep it locked here. Thank you, Sylvia. Go forth.
Thank you. Have a good